Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hunt for Habit YouTube channel. This video is actually my 7th. I did say the last one was my 7th, but this one is. That was my 6th. This is my 7th. I have learnt to count since then, I promise. But enough of that, let's get straight into it. Today I want to talk about what it actually means to fall in love with the process. That's something that people say all the time. More experienced people say, you've just got to fall in love. Fall in love with the gym. Fall in love with clean eating. But how are you supposed to fall in love with something that makes you feel so uncomfortable? Especially at the start. Something that makes you feel against the grain. Goes against every fibre in your being. How are you supposed to fall in love with something like that? Especially if you've tried and failed before. Something that hasn't proved it works to you. Something that you don't trust yet. I didn't enjoy the gym when I first started. I didn't enjoy eating healthily. I was so used to hyper palatable foods. Like, obviously, sugar, pizza, sweets. I craved all the time. So whenever I turned to foods that were good for me, whole foods, nutritionally dense foods, I was just left craving the sugar, left craving the carbohydrates, left craving the pizza. Especially because I used to work at Domino's as a delivery driver. And I'll admit something now. I wasn't planning on admitting this at all, but it's come out. When I used to drive for Domino's, whenever there was a pizza that had been cancelled or it wasn't a pizza that was fit to go out, we just got them for free. So we would just ask our manager, can we have a pizza? And so I'd take a pizza to deliver, and then the pizza that was cancelled, I used to just take it. It could be a large, and I could have like 2 larges in a night, and I'd just have it on my passenger seat open while I was driving to deliver the pizza that I had in the back, and I'd just be eating the pizza. That's something I used to do on a regular basis. I got so big. It was I laugh now, but at the time it was not a good place to be in. What I was getting at with that before I went on a tangent was I didn't enjoy the process of sacrificing the comfort. I just didn't. And so when people said, you've just got to fall in love with the process, it was never really explained to me. And people interpret things in different ways. I can only give you my opinion, but I'm going to give you what I think, my take on what falling in love with the process really means. Because you can't just flip a switch. That's not how it works. There's a process to it. There's a process to falling in love with the process. It's all about the way you think. It's all about the perspective, how you look at it. Because now, I love the gym. I love going to the gym, traveling to the gym, either walking or driving. I love being in the gym. I love the act of exercising. I love the nuances of training. I like the adrenaline. I like the sweat. I like the challenge. I like pushing myself. I physically love pushing myself. Love the feeling of pushing myself to muscular failure. I have learnt that. I've learnt to love that. But that didn't come until way later. Until I learned what the process, what doing all of that, what feeling the adrenaline, what feeling the challenge and overcoming the challenge, what feeling that could do for me. Not just aesthetically, but mentally as well. Here's what I've come to realise. Falling in love with the process doesn't mean falling in love with every workout. Falling in love with every sacrifice. It doesn't even mean falling in love with the gym or going to the gym or loving exercise at all. It means falling in love with what all of this can do for you. Like I said, physically and mentally. What it all represents. It means wanting and loving that future version of yourself enough to say that you're willing to be uncomfortable now so they can thrive later. And that's the start of real self-love. Disciplining yourself now is the ultimate way of loving yourself, because it's saying you're willing to sacrifice short-term pleasure now for long-term peace. Practicing delayed gratification in a world that's quite literally addicted to the opposite. That's taking control. That's holding your power. When you first start out, it's easy. When you're motivated, when it's new and exciting and there's a novelty there, it's easy. When I first started, I was riding on that novelty. Always lasts 1 to 3 weeks. You're buzzing, it's something new. Like I said, it's a big novelty. You're telling everyone that you're on this new journey, And even that, even just telling people, you get this dopamine spike where you feel like you're that much further to your goal. But then after that 2, 3, maybe even 4-week period, the reality sets in. The work sets in, and you realize, damn, I'm going to really have to commit to this, if I want to get something out of it. And that's where a lot of people stop. When they start feeling really uncomfortable, the reality of how uncomfortable this new thing that they're doing, this new quite literal shift in identity, is too much for them to handle. But that's where the growth happens. When you start feeling genuinely uncomfortable, that's when the growth happens, or at least starts to happen. And a lot of people think, if I'm not in it all the way, then I can't be in it at all. The all or nothing mindset is not good. If you've got this mindset, all or nothing, I'm either totally on the gym, totally healthy, or not, it's not balanced. Get rid of that mindset. I'll do some more videos on that, but for now, just try and get out of that. This is where you're in danger of falling back into a fixed mindset, where you feel like you're not made for it, where you feel like you don't deserve it. I've done a more lengthy video on growth and fixed mindsets in a previous video. I'll link it up here. Why does this happen? Because we haven't given ourselves enough time to earn that love for the process. It's a love that you have to earn. When it gets really difficult, it's like the universe is saying to you, how badly do you want this? It's testing you. How badly do you want to change? And if you stay long enough, if you keep showing up, even when it feels the most uncomfortable for you, suddenly it clicks. The wheels are in motion. It gets easier. You're not forcing it anymore. You understand what everything is doing for you, mentally and physically, and trust me, it clicks. Give consistency a chance to show you what it can do for you. I promise you, you will be surprised in a good way. And it will change your life. 6, 8, 12 months down the line, when you're really into your journey, you'll look back and you'll thank yourself for not giving up. You'll thank yourself for staying consistent even when it got hard. Because that's when it counts. When it gets hard, when it gets uncomfortable, that's when it matters the most. That's where the growth happens. I sound like a broken record, but it's true. That is where the growth happens. Keep reminding yourself, when it gets difficult, when it feels hard, that is what hard feels like. That is working. That is the consistency. That is the discipline. That's everything working. If you push through that. You push through that mental barrier where you want to give up. You don't want to do it anymore. You don't feel like it's you. You don't want. You're out of your comfort zone. You see, you're like this. You're resisting. Just push through, and I promise it will get easier. It will. Everything will click. You'll start to see what it all does for you, and you will start to fall in love with it. That is what falling in love with the process really means. When the process becomes part of your identity. Loving yourself, loving the process. That's when you'll start to see your new identity in your reflection. Because you stuck it out. You respected yourself enough to keep going. You stacked that proof. You stay consistent. You are now who you said you were going to be. That's all confidence. It's there now. You delayed that gratification. You swapped out that short-term pleasure for that long-term contentment. And that is the loudest way you can say, I love you to yourself. So if you're sitting in that uncomfortable space now, if you're about to start and you're worried about getting to that uncomfortable space, and worried that you're going to fall off the wagon again for the 5th time, don't you dare stop. Don't. Keep going. When it gets tough, keep going. Stay consistent. You will absolutely thank yourself later, and it will click. I can guarantee, I keep saying that, guarantee, because I have experienced it. If you keep showing up for yourself, if you keep proving to yourself time and time again that you are this new person that you want to be, you will become that person. Just give it time. Do the obvious thing for an extraordinary period of time, and you will become that person. Habits aren't handed out, they are hunted down. So go out there and do the work. It's difficult to fall in love with the process because it's not here to please you. It's not here to carry you, to listen or sympathize with any of your excuses. It's here to transform you. It's here to help you love yourself, genuinely love yourself. So start falling in love with it because it's doing some amazing things for you. Fall in love with it. Invite it in. It may seem like an enemy, but it's one of your best friends. That's it. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please let me know in the comments where you are in your fitness journey at the moment. Like and share with anyone you feel like it would help, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.